So you can have what you like. You can have a bag of sweets. Anyway, it's time for my next guest. Now, she was the wonderful Samantha... Oh, look, I'm not even going to read this. I'm going to make my own up. If Aphrodite, Minerva, Diana and Hera, who was Zeus's missus, came down from Mount Olympus, they couldn't hold a candle to this woman for style, talent and beauty. She's now the darling of the West End in her new play called The Cryptogram, and she's found time to write another bestseller called Being a Girl. Will you please welcome the goddess that is Kim Catrall? Let me hear you. Oh, my darling. Hey.
How are you?
I'm all the best of us seeing you. Look at you. Raise the roof, please. Oh, my God, you're looking fabulous.
Oh, I'm feeling fabulous. It's so good to be home.
Oh, it's good to see you. How are you?
I'm great. I'm really great. Great to see you as well.
Can I tell them a little story?
Oh, all right.
When I had me bit of trouble with the ticker, I'm lying in the bed recuperating. I had a friend, Chad, looking after me, and the phone went. And he came up, he was holding the phone. He went, Kim Catrall on the phone. I said, who? He said, I said, oh, speak up, Chad. And he handed the phone. The phone was then taken off me after the conversation and put on the cupboard. So I couldn't touch it.
Oh,
because you'd been honest. I haven't made a phone call since.
Oh, stop. I was concerned about you. I was back in New York, and Cilla Black had told me that you were not doing well, so I wanted to make sure you were all right.
No, I'm fine, touch wood.
Good.
Thank the Lord.
Good.
Listen, you've had wonderful reviews for your new play.
Oh, I don't read reviews, so
I'm going to read you these
oh,
two.
God.
No,
blah, 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 blah.
Kim is brilliantly brittle
Blah,
in the
blah,
role.
blah, 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 blah.
She's super. This is Charles Spencer in The Telegraph.
I know.
The butcher of Shaftesbury Avenue.
Oh,
Seriously,
really?
he really is. She's superb. Absolutely superb. Come on, I mean...
I'm just relieved. You know, you never know. As you know, you never know. You get up there as a performer, as an actor, and you do your best. And when you... I don't read reviews, because if they're bad, I'm devastated. And if they're good, I get a big head.
Yeah.
So it's best not to... You know, you think, oh, wait, they like that bit. Oh, well, watch this. And then you think, no, 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 I'm not going to read it. The best thing, I think, to do is to sit down with a nice drink.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey told me he does this. Sits down with a nice big drink and maybe something else, and then read them when it's all over with, so you can't be affected by it.
Very sensible.
Yes.
What's the play about, Kim?
It's a very interesting play. David Mamet, I don't know if you've ever seen any of his.
I've heard of him.
He likes sort of riddles and mysteries, and it's called A Cryptogram, so the audience really has to participate, and you have to listen. Really demands attention of the audience. And we have 3 young boys, and they're not just 1 or 2 scenes. They're a major part of the play. One of them is in the play, and they alternate between the 3 of them. And they're fabulous kids. They've done a great job, as has Dougie Henschel. And we're at the Donmar in the West End, a fabulous theatre.
Lovely theatre.
You played at the Donmar.
It was my very first theatre job ever.
Yeah.
Professional was at the Donmar, playing a young man of easy virtue. That's...
Typecasting, if I ever heard
the only way I could describe it at 5 o'clock. But I love it. It's got a lovely... It's intimate. It's got a real nice feel to it.
Did you know that the Beatles used that space to rehearse in the early 60s?
Yeah, I
so
know.
it has like that Liverpool vibe going.
There is slightly, isn't it?
Does,
There's something going on. Are you enjoying it down there?
I'm having a fantastic time. We've been sold out, and as you say, the reviews have been good. So it's a great experience. It's always great to be back in England as well.
And she's a 50s housewife, isn't she, this
character? She is. The play is only an hour long, and I go from this... Bliss, yes. It's a hit, as a friend of mine said, Hugh Sachs. He says, it's a hit, it's an hour long. But she goes from being basically Susie Homemaker to Medea in an hour.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, come see it.
Do you know what's good, though? It's nice to go and see a bit of theatre now. That's actually challenging. That makes you think.
Yes.
Because it seems to me, and this is no offence to what's gone on in the West End, it's all musicals.
Yes.
You know,
it's
now
that way in New York, too.
Yeah, you know, now we've got, like, Sound of Music, nuns, Nazis and Nazis. I mean... I'm sorry, you know, sometimes I do like to go and be challenged. I like to go home and sit in the end of the bed and think about it.
Yes, well, this is definitely the play for you, then. Yeah, it is. It makes you think. It pushes you to kind of a limit. I don't have kids. I have such respect for women who do, especially boys. Oh, that's not the problem age. It's when they get older and get a driver's license. That's when it really gets difficult.
Oh, I'd chuck them out when they were 9. My mother used to say to me, when are you leaving home? I was 4. Honestly.
Oh,
Do you know, last night, Kim, I was sat in the bed reading this.
Being a girl.
I've learned so much, seriously. I've learned lots of things about dating. Oh, I'm going to change. I'm never saying yes on a first date again.
That's right. It's all up to you. It's all up to you.
But I was thinking, God, it's so awful to be a teenage girl, the problems they have.
Oh, it is. This was a very tough time for me. And this book was really inspired by my niece, who was turning 14, and she was having a terrible time, not just with spots, but just sort of trying to find her way socially in high school.
Yeah.
And I remember that time for me, that like 10 years from where you're like 12 until your early 20s, when you're becoming this little girl into this young woman. And all of the trials and tribulations. It's not just, you know, gaining weight, losing weight, your face breaking out. It's also peer pressure.
Yeah.
And now I think it's a much harder time to grow up than it was when I was. When I was a kid, they were trying to sell me spot medicine. Now they're trying to sell girls $400 shoes and $800 handbags.
Yeah,
and I just think to myself, this is crazy. And these magazines like Cosmopolitan Teen and Vogue Teen, these girls don't have any time to just be kids.
And this weight issue as well, you know, it's constantly like this, should you be poker thin?
Yes.
Should you be overweight? What, I mean, it must be a nightmare.
Well, I speak about that in the book,
Yeah.
and we have this wonderful cartoonist, Marv Rickler, and she really does a great caricature of this girl looking in a mirror, and she's thin, but what she sees looking at her is a fat girl.
Yeah.
It's this body perception of who am I supposed to be? I mean, I have a huge fan base of young women based on Sex and the City. And they look at those 4 characters and they think, oh, I want to be those 4 characters. But those were women in their 30s who had a lot of life experience. So those 12 years are very important. And I wanted to address that with personal stories of my own, good, bad, and indifferent.
But there's lots of advice I like about confidence building. You know, like, forget what you look like. It's about...
It starts with you.
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't matter who your friends are or what you're wearing. It really starts with how you feel about yourself.
And there's this quote at the end, of course, which is from, I didn't know she was your favourite comedian, Lucille Ball.
Oh, she's
mine as well, isn't she?
Really?
Oh, God, I
she's
love
brilliant.
her. Can't touch her. Lucy and Vivian Vance, the best,
The
weren't
best,
they? Just the best.
Chemistry.
Brilliant, brilliant. And without each other, it didn't quite work, did it?
Didn't work, no.
But this is Lucy. I have a daily religion that works for me. Love yourself first and everything else falls into place. You really have to love yourself to get anything done in this world. If you don't like yourself, you've had it.
That's
true,
right.
isn't it?
That's right. It starts with you. That's the message. Yeah.
But you were saying about you looking cool even when you're a bag of nerves.
Oh, my God, yeah. I mean, especially as an entertainer, you know, you get nerves. For me, if I'm not nervous, even doing the talk show today, I feel a little something.
No, with me?
Absolutely. And part of it's just excitement, you know, of getting out there in front of an audience. Part of it, if I don't feel something like that, every night at the theater, 8 shows a week, you were talking about this backstage, 7:30, you think, oh, here we go.
But it's quite pleasant, isn't it?
Is it? Once you're out there, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
It's just getting out there. So taking those deep breaths and saying, okay, I'm going to kick some ass now. Let's go.
Yeah. But it's that standing in the wings and you think, open the cage, open
I know,
the cage.
I know. I'm ready.
Shut the cage, I don't want to go out. Now, you can have problem with boys at any time in your life, can't you?
Yes, there's a great quote in the book. It says, if it has tires and testicles, you're going to have trouble with it. And I think that... And I think that sums it up, you know, it really does. I have had some horrific dates, and I was single after Sex and the City finished, and I thought, what is my dating life going to be like now? Because men were absolutely petrified of me.
I bet they were.
Yes. And I had some disastrous dates. Thank God I'm in a good relationship now, so I don't have to go through that. But taking those first steps towards, you know, is this guy going to like me, and what is this going to be like? And we talk about all of that in the book, as well as makeup tips from my makeup artist on Sex and the City.
Oh, but I also like use honey as a face pack and all that.
Yes, she had all these fabulous ideas on how to apply, how to start a wardrobe, a professional wardrobe for a woman, that little black dress, all those wonderful things that I sort of learned along the way.
I wish I was a teenage girl.
No.
Or a teenage boy. It's a
No,
nightmare.
no,
a
it's-
nightmare.
it is,
I
it
always
is.
used to go around with a thing called hide and heel. It was to cover love bites. Do you remember it? Do you remember hide and heel? I used to come down, my mother would say, "What's that on your neck?" And I had this great purple growth, painted with what looked like white emulsion to hide it.
They used to call them hickeys, you know,
Hickeys.
and they were like a badge of honor.
Oh, but we also, well, if we didn't have, we used to give them to ourselves. We go. I'm such liars.
I never went that far, but hey, that's actually not a bad idea.
Listen, we've got a clip now, classic clip from Sex and the City we have to show, and it's about dating.
Oh, God,
Bert,
yeah.
please, put it on.
So what do you want to eat?
Later, without direction, Smith tried the most intimate hand position of all.
I don't know. What do you feel like?
Sushi, maybe. Or Thai.
Oh, I just had to.
Babe? You okay?
It's just an honor.
Kim, what can I say to you, except I love you, and I shall be here next Thursday to see the show.
Oh, I can't wait.
And it's
Go
at
for
the
a drink.
Domnar Warehouse. How long's it on for?
Till the end of November.
Till the end of November. It's called the Cryptogram. That's right, isn't
Right.
it? Go and see it. Do your mind good. Bit of exercise for the brain. Get you off. How do you thought? Let's hear it, please, for King Catrall. Come on. Much to you and all. Don't forget, one of you watching right